Welcome to another episode of Titan Muscle and Mind. This is the Monday catch-up. Didn't do last week. Didn't do last week. Had a few things happening in my life. I was a bit overworked actually. My dad wasn't doing the best, and going in and out of hospital every day, just making sure he was all right. And yeah, I hit a wall, and I just said to the guys, I'm not going to do the Monday Monday catch up last week, but I felt like I just needed to get that off my shoulder this week, because I'm really enjoying doing these podcasts, because I can really share with you guys everything that we're doing at Tmam Fitness. We're doing so many good things. The biggest thing is our service is just going on another level, and when you're going so hard, and things happen in life, and you just hits you in the guts, and you just don't realise how much sometimes the effect it has. That being said, it was that one day I kind of was pretty a bit rough, but guys, like the thing is, when you've got a purpose and you've got a journey that you're so passionate about, and you put everything into it, and it's for the betterment of people's lives, and you love the work that you do, and even so that you love it, it doesn't mean it's not going to be easy. It's going to be extremely hard, and you're going to have massive challenges, but that's all part of the process. And Jules sent me a message today, and he said, let's do one about leadership and what it means. And it's not about wielding the axe, but more about lifting the people around you. And look, leadership is extremely hard. Like there's extreme accountability that comes with it. Over the years that I've been in this business, we've had to move people on for the betterment of the rest of the team. And sometimes making those decisions are extremely hard as a leader, but you have to make them. And the better part of the end of last year and at the beginning of this year, I didn't wield the axe on the team that I have, but rather tried to bring them up through the people that I had to move on. So the culture got stronger. And usually when you make those decisions, it takes a lot of energy. It takes, and to be perfectly honest, from my perspective, it probably was long overdue, moving people on. And I always say this, like, everyone that wants to come and work here, this isn't a place where you can just take it easy and just exist in your job. It's about having an impact on people's lives. I was in the hospital the other day, and this guy that one of the guys we knew was then he asked me what I do in my position at the gym, and my brother started laughing, and I started laughing, and I said, well, mate, I was training people the other day, helping them. I was jumping in a spin class with members. I was helping people within the challenge. And as a leader, you've got to wear those hats, and if you want to service people, you've got to make sure you get in front of them and you lead by example. I had a workout with my team. I had a really good workout with Jen and Jules last week. It's a really good way of us connecting more. We had a good laugh. It was a good back workout. Jen didn't feel it. I mean, she didn't work out hard enough.
You see it in her face as well.
She just took it too easy. And towards the end of the week, I had a few serious conversations with a few team members, and just said to them, look, do you really feel like you're putting in? And sometimes people feel like they're putting in a lot of effort, and it's easy to feel that way when you don't know what the standard of really putting in a lot of effort and working really hard is. And I reminded them, and I've done it in a way where I had to really just tell them. And then I said to them, you're super talented, but if you can match the work ethic with the talent, okay, you're going to go much further. Don't feel sorry for yourself if you're putting in long hours and you're on your own. There's a lot of times as a leader, you feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. There's so many people out there doing the same thing. And it's the same with anything. Whether you're in a challenge, a training program, you're never alone. And we created the 24/7 support group within the Facebook, so we can answer everyone's questions all the time. I just had an ex-member come in today, Nev, and I've been seeing him, you know, around the corner for, you know, the past year and a half, and every time I saw him, I said, mate, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? You know, he ended up coming back today, and I was lucky enough to see him, and I pushed him into the challenge, and we'll get him on there on Thursday, and we'll weigh him in. But I said, look, the service is completely different. I know the point of where people sort of lose momentum and lose focus, and just they lose that passion for coming into the gym. They know it's going to be beneficial for them after they train, but they just find it hard to get here. Well, that's pretty much everyone. I mean, everyone has the same sort of excuses. And it's the same thing with leadership. Like, your team are going to have these excuses of, I just don't feel I can put in, I just don't feel, you know, I can be at your standard. Look, it's not about putting in and being at my standard. It's asking yourself, what standard do you really have in life? And a lot of the times I find that individuals have a standard that is comfortable, and that comfortability sometimes has an adverse effect on that individual because they believe that that standard is enough. Look, the reality is, if you're always learning and you're always getting better, how can you really have a standard? Your standard's to constantly progress and get better and keep pushing yourself to the next level all the time. So, and that's hard for some people to stomach, because they go, well, I've gotten to this point, now that's enough. I can't push myself again, or I finished this project, that was great, I don't know if I can do more. Look, you've got to do more. Life is moving that fast and things are changing that much through technology that if you don't keep growing and progressing, you're going to get left behind. So that's why, you know, all last week I was hearing, Jules, I was hearing how good the place is, how amazing it is, all the amazing testimonials. Like, it was massive, you know. The girls were showing me all the wins and what people were saying about the gym. And that's all good, right? I'm happy with that. But I want to do millions of people where they have that same experience our members are having. So when I hear that, it just makes me want to work harder. And that's what leaders do. They work harder, they get out in front. And, you know, today we sat down and we created a new structure. And it took me a whole weekend of thinking about that, because when you put that to the team, you don't know how the reaction of the individuals are going to be. The reality is, even if you're at the bottom, you're a leader. If you're at the top, you're a leader. It just depends what you think you are. And that's why I say, people, don't ever label yourself. Always look at yourself. Doesn't matter where you are in the company, that you can have that impact on any individual that you choose to. And that's what our job's about, essentially. And like, leadership is got its ups and downs all the time. It's consistently up and down like this, because you're dealing with your team's emotions. You're dealing with what they're going through in their life. And that's why I say it's so crucial that you look at your environment, because your environment will dictate and control your emotions. So everything that happens outside of you is really going to control your emotions. But if you're reading and you're listening to the right podcasts and you're doing the right courses in development, you're really nourishing and feeding your mind with the right source of information. And when you feed your mind with the right source of information, the external factors don't really come into it. And it's only the external factors that come into it. And that's where leadership is very, very vital, to understand that you have to bring your team up with you. But you also have to understand that you have to have those confrontational talks. And everyone's is different. Everyone's is different. Some people have to, you know, going with the tactic of, you know, just being who they are, not trying to be someone else. My tactics are different. I'm full throttle, Angels. I just say it the way it is, you know, and, you know, I might swear a few times and all that kind of stuff. But
tell a few good stories.
I tell a few good stories in between. I think, you know what, and this is the truth, Jules, like, if you're going to be a good leader, tell a few good stories of people in those positions so people understand.
Yeah.
I think storytelling is very important in leadership.
Just as when you say something you've gone through and give an example of an adversity you've gone through, it goes to show that you can get through it, and you probably have.
Yeah, well, and you know what, early on I wasn't as good as I am.
Yeah.
So when those problems used to happen, you know, and I told you, mate, I used to blow a head gasket. I used to really go off the deep end early on, because I didn't have the mechanisms or the tools that I have through the knowledge that I've acquired over that time to be able to deal with those different problems. But you get better at it. You get better at picking a better team as well. You get better in the interview process, and no interview process is black and white.
Yeah.
But what I do now is I just tell people what I'm like, and they either take the job or they don't at that point, which is cool, you know what I mean? Because I don't want you to take the job and waste my time and waste my team's time if you don't feel like you're going to put in more than you've ever put in anywhere else. And I always talk about growth and the importance of growth within the business and how important it is for individuals to grow. Because if you're not going to grow within the business, I don't want you to be here.
Yeah.
I just don't want you to be here because I just think you're going to waste your time. And that's why I say to them, like, you want the job, you got to be willing to go beyond and above what you've ever gone through anywhere else. But I also prime, I say, mate, look, you're going to get your ass kicked by someone in here for you not doing the right thing. But that's cool, I said, because at the end of the day, if people aren't telling you what you're doing wrong, how can you improve? You know what I mean? If I kept saying to you, look, George, you're going to be fine, just keep working, don't worry about everything else, just keep working. I'm not giving you the tools of why it didn't work for you before. But if I lay it down, I go, these are the things that you have to improve, A, B, and C, right? And I go, now, if you don't do those three things, you probably won't have a job here. But if you do those really well, I go, mate, you're going to do much better than you ever thought you could. And don't get me wrong, like every time, like today, I wrote that down, right?
Yeah. The structure.
The structure. In the back of my mind, I'm going to myself, fuck, I hope they buy into this.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when people think, oh, does he get stressed out on all that kind of shit? Yeah, I was fucking getting stressed out because I go, the looks on the team's face is going to dictate, and it's either going to help my reaction or not going to help my reaction.
It takes to whether they like it or not as well.
Yeah, and well, that's right.
If they like it or not, will it work or won't it work? So it's
100%.
It's making that decision. It's a high risk decision. However, it'll pay off.
What I knew for sure was that I knew that, like, a lot of people are respecting you and Sinead, so I knew they were going to be happy with that. Like Jules in the marketing area liaising with Sinead, and I knew that Orla being at the front desk and understanding the sales and marketing was going to be a really good fit. I knew that, but I also knew there was girls that have been here a lot longer than Orla.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what their reactions might be. But look, it was well deserved on her part because, and it's going to be a rocky ride for her, but I'm going to be there to help her through that and guide her through that. And that's what leaders do. They guide people through when they just give them that new position. And then when I'm guiding her through, I'm going to have to give her that tough edge. So I know what edge I have to give her so she can have that conviction when she sits down with people and not be afraid that the person may not like them. That's cool.
Yeah, but if she's not making mistakes in the journey,
got to make mistakes in the journey, man.
She's not taking the right action.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get out of their comfort zone, take those risks, learn from those mistakes as well.
And your confidence grows.
Yeah.
So when your confidence and self-esteem grows because your team's getting better results, then you're going, oh wow.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I try to remind people: don't rest on your laurels and don't get complacent in that, because someone's going to hit you soon. Someone's going to hit you soon, or we're going to go to the next level where we're going to have to do more.
Yeah.
And that always happens where you go, fuck, that's great. We've gone to this level. Now what are we going to do to go to the next level?
Yeah.
So now what that does, that extends you far beyond what you can reach. And then mentally you're questioning yourself whether you can. And now you're questioning, can I? And can I bring my team with me? I know I can, but I've got to bring them with me, because on my own, I'm only as good as what I can do, but I need the team with me. So, and that's the most important thing about leadership, is understanding those skills where you need to bring your team along with them. But you've got to instill belief in them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the key. I can bring you with me, right? But what about when I'm not here tomorrow for 4 or 5 days? Then you've got to take over those reins, you know what I mean? And when you're doing that, that's when you're going to start possibly questioning yourself. And that's good that you're questioning yourself, because that makes you go, I'm going to step it up.
Yeah.
So when I'm questioning myself, whether it's positive or negative, I'm stepping up.
Yeah.
I'm stepping up. I'm going, okay, I'm going to step up to the plate. So leadership isn't about wielding the axe and bringing your team down. It's about being honest with your team, giving the confidence that they need, instilling the belief that they need, and bringing them up with you, but also reminding them that when you're bringing your team up with you, is that you're going to still come across problems. So what you're doing is you're getting them ready for those problems. Problems are opportunities, so problems aren't bad. They're like puzzles, and if you look at puzzles as a game, it's not really a problem, is it? So leadership isn't as bad as what it seems, guys. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You've got to figure out the puzzles. You've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be honest with your team. And more importantly, you've got to embrace the opportunities that you get as a leader. We are all leaders, but it's our choice whether we take it or not, and whether we take the pressure that comes with it. So my advice to people out there that want to go to that next level, push yourself and extend yourself out of your comfort zone. Accept the failures when they come along the way, but learn from them. And always surround yourself within an environment that's going to help you prosper as a leader as well, because that's the most important thing. Because there's going to be days where you're going to feel lonely, you're going to feel like, am I worthy enough? That's perfectly normal, but you're not alone. And just understand that, guys. So I want to leave you with that.
I think leading by example as well, and something you do really well, is that the difference between you and probably 10 years ago is that you're putting yourself out there by example now. So you're making an example of yourself and your experiences. You're even showing people on camera that you're getting yourself out there. So the difference between you and yourself 10 years ago is that you probably would have just told people what to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And not being out there, like you're out here vacuuming and doing things which people like gym owners wouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
But you're out there leading by example and showing the team what they're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference between a leader and a sort of dictator as well.
And leaders lead by example.
Yeah.
And like one thing I want to get across, like, you know, like people talk about dictatorship. Leadership has an element of that, because you got to take ownership of everything that happens as well. But you can't become like a dictator from the top going, you're doing all this. Yeah. Like if you go to me, Mets, I need help. I'm dealing with this issue with one of the team members. Can you give me a hand? 100%. I love that. Yeah. What I wouldn't like is when you try to do it on your own and you needed my help. You actually needed it. And then I go, man, you should have just given me help. I'll be happy to help you. Yeah. And that's what I want to do, because, and I don't even have to do it. You go, Meds, can I have a quick conversation? I want to go in and do it myself, but what's your opinion on this? Yeah. I don't have to be there. I'm just going to give you my opinion on what I would do. I'll give you 2 scenarios. I'll say this is what I would do, but go in and do it your way, and then tell me what happened. And that's really what you got to do as a leader.
I agree.
Thanks, Jules. It was a good subject. I just want to thank Jules for putting these subjects up, because I think it's very important to understand what we do here, what I do here as well. And I just want to thank everyone for their support as well, because there's a lot of people, you know, that are stopping in the gym that are really enjoying these podcasts. They're getting to learn a lot about the team. You know, they know Jules, and we're doing a lot of video content and showcasing ourselves and putting ourselves out there. We're not saying we're perfect with everything that we do, but what we do well is we make sure our service is second to none. And we make sure we do that every single day. And these podcasts are for you guys here at Titan Fitness, really. We started it, and we call it Titan Muscle and Mind, for our members and our community, but we really want to reach a wider community than just our community here. So we want everyone to know about Titan Fitness, and it's people like you that support us that matter the most. And we'd love for you guys if you can share episodes like this with your friends, or anyone you feel that needs the content that we give out through our podcast, through our YouTube channel, and our social media channels as well. So I want to thank you guys, because you guys are the ones we do it for. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you guys. Jules, we'll see him. We might
see
interview
him on Thursday. We've got a seminar, so you can come chat with us. You'll be doing a talk on mindset.
And goal setting.
Thursday, 6:45. It's in the underground of the gym. So if you're around,
come down, guys. Come down. Thanks a lot.